Imagine a conscious contact with God so strong that no matter what you are doing or not doing, that no matter what your kids are up to or not up to, and that whether you've got the person of your dreams or they're just not cooperating, that you are happy, content, and at peace. A space where everyone else's thoughts, attitudes, and actions are beautiful and exactly as they are supposed to be. Well, this is the space where I like to play. My name is Misha Z, and this is today's Bitch Slap. Join me as I shed light on the thoughts, actions, and attitudes that are causing you pain, and we train our minds to go to the capital S inner self, the joy that is waiting for us, the God within.
I have taken to scheduling the release of episodes a week at a time. So, for example, Saturday, I put together 5 episodes and then scheduled them for publishing the following week. And so it actually takes me 2 days to put together a week's worth of episodes. Well, they're already recorded, to edit them, write the notes, this, that, and the other thing. And it's funny, actually, the Courtney Leonard interview, which is up by the time you listen to this. So the Courtney Leonard interview, it's the first time I'm like, if I have to listen to this whole thing and take notes, I am not going to get it up and published. And I don't have a who right now to take notes on my episodes. So it actually took me 2 or 3 extra weeks to publish it because I was burnt from doing the summit. Just tired, emotionally wrung out. And it takes a lot of emotional effort to pay attention to the interview, to take the notes, to do all these things. And I say that all with positivity and not complaining, just stating the facts. So as I've been inviting people for the summit and doing all this stuff and interviewing them, it's a lot of emotional, a lot of energy output for me. And I was finding yeah, I don't have the energy to edit down one of these interviews, these podcast interviews. So I just went ahead and put that note in there. By the way, I'm so I don't have the energy, or however I said it, I don't have the energy to take all the notes for this episode. So you're just going to have to listen. And I thought that was rather funny. And it was a breakthrough for me, actually, to allow it to be a little bit more messy, or my perception that it's a messier, episode, because I didn't listen to it all, or, perhaps edit out some pieces but it might not be. That might actually be less messy than the messy job I do when I do take notes. So it felt really good, and it was really freeing, to just not have to, in that moment, put all that time and energy into working it up. And all of a sudden I had an extra 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours. Sometimes it can take 2, 3, or 4 hours to do it. And I was like, yeah, I can relax and chill. Honestly, I needed to do that. So I thought I was going to, once I published that episode that way, the Courtney Leonard interview, Courtney L, excuse me, I thought, all right, I'm going to use all that time to be productive. Edit all these other interviews, invite more people for the summit, do all this work. And I was like, yeah, no, now I'm free to go take a nap. So I went and took a nap. Um, so that's part A of this episode. Part B, um, I so I've been very restless sleeping. Once the summit was in full effect, I've been very restless when I'm sleeping. As my mentor says, John G, you're stressed. Such a funny moment of clarity. Hey, wait a minute. I'm stressed out. Perhaps. I don't want to be stressed out. Um, Acceptance is key. Anyhow, I was saying this little bit right before I went to bed, this little prayer or this little Course in Miracles little bit, and it was, Holy Spirit, please use my dreams on behalf of waking. Holy Spirit, please use my dreams on behalf of waking. And the implication there is that perhaps we're not awake when we're supposedly awake walking through the day on this planet, that we're actually sleeping to the reality of what's around us. Our perceptions are skewed, or we're tied to the body, we're trapped in the body, all these sorts of ideas. And so, or that time is linear, time's actually a thing. That's another great, perhaps, illusion that our physical bodies give us. And perhaps we won't know. Some people might be enlightened, but perhaps we won't know until we die, until our body no longer serves a purpose on this planet as we know it. Anyhow, it's funny trying to explain this. So as I've been restless, I was like, and it's like, as I've been sleeping, I've been I don't know if anybody else has this, but when I was busy in mortgages, I would have loan mares, I would call them. I would just be running loan scenarios, and it would wake me up in the middle of the night. Loan mares, so funny, from my loan officer days. But now it's summit mares, if you would want to call them that. It's like these interviews, or what did I write down? I wrote down a note. It's almost like I'm trying to get things done while I'm sleeping. And so I'm restless. And I like that concept, that's what the churn is. It's like, as I'm sleeping, I'm trying to get things done. And how about this? If I'm restless when I'm sleeping, I'm not in the moment. And so my thought was this. I was like, gosh, I'm so restless. I need to, excuse me, start saying that little blurb again right before I go to bed. Holy Spirit, please use my dreams on behalf of waking. And I sort of had this thought, or this idea that, well, wait a minute, my dreams are being used on behalf of waking me to the reality that all we have is this moment. And when we are purely in the moment, time, that illusion of time slips away. All these things slip away, judgments slip away. Perhaps the way it's working for me these days at my age, all these things, is that idea that everything is love, and I've felt that at different times in different places throughout my life, when I'm truly in those spaces of just being in the moment, like all these illusions slip away. And so a few nights ago, I was like, you know what? The trick for me right now is when I'm restless and sleeping and churning through interview scenarios, or I need to be editing, or what's copy going to be, or whatever. Sometimes it's these weird, really weird. I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm working on things. I had this thought that, hey, can you come back to the moment? Just come back to the moment when I'm restless. And then that could work two ways. One can be loving the fact that the mind is churning and being like, okay, the mind is churning and I love that. Can I cease control of that and let that go? And B, can I just be aware that, hey, I'm in bed. Nothing needs to be done other than being in bed. Anyhow, I don't know if that's too far out there, if that made any sense at all. You're welcome to email me. My email address, I believe, is in the show notes. Love to have commentary. Heck, if you throw me a comment on this regard, in this regard, there's a great chance I will reference it on an episode. There you go. Covered all the bases. Love to all. Have a good day.
Thank you for spending time with me today. As someone who is committed to growth and service to this world, I so appreciate your willingness to come with me, go within, and serve our world through change. If you found value in this podcast and you know someone who can use this message, share this episode with them. Share it so our mission can be achieved one episode at a time. And of course, subscribe so you can hear more. And lastly, for more resources on what has helped me on my journey and can help you on yours, go to belove.media/resources. That's BELOVE.media/resources. Thank you again for listening.